Imagine a man who had been dead for 4 full days, his body wrapped tight in burial cloths, resting inside a cold, sealed stone tomb. In the scorching heat of the Judean desert, the biological process of decay had already taken hold. To the ancient world and to modern science, this was the absolute, undeniable point of no return. But then, a single voice pierced the silence of the graveyard. A command was spoken into the abyss of death. And what happened next did not just comfort a grieving family, it terrified the religious elite, sent shockwaves through the Roman Empire, and ultimately sealed the fate of Jesus Christ on the cross. This is the untold cinematic reality behind Jesus' greatest, most profound, and most dangerous miracle, the raising of Lazarus. Welcome to Biblical Chronicles. Today we are stepping onto the dusty, dangerous roads of ancient Bethany, located just 2 miles from the hostile center of Jerusalem. We are here to uncover the mysteries of a miracle that defied nature. Why did Jesus deliberately wait until it was seemingly too late? And why did this specific act of divine power trigger the ultimate plot to end his life? Let's unfold the chronicle. Our chronicle begins with a desperate cry for help. In the small, quiet village of Bethany, a man named Lazarus fell dangerously ill. Lazarus was no ordinary stranger to Jesus. He and his 2 sisters, Martha and Mary, were among Christ's closest, most beloved friends. They had opened their home to him many times. Knowing the miraculous healing power Jesus possessed, the sisters immediately sent a matter-of-fact message to him deep in the wilderness. "Lord, the one you love is sick." At this moment, Jesus was miles away, performing ministry in a remote area beyond the Jordan River. When the breathless messenger finally delivered the news, Jesus' response puzzled everyone around him. He didn't pack his bags. He didn't drop everything to run to his dying friend. Instead, he calmly looked at the crowd and stated, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." What happens next is one of the most intellectually challenging moments in the Gospels. The ancient texts explicitly emphasize that Jesus loved Martha, Mary, and Lazarus deeply. Yet right after hearing that Lazarus was on the brink of death, Christ chose to stay exactly where he was for 2 more days. To human eyes, and surely to the heartbreak of the sisters waiting in Bethany, this delay looked like complete neglect. By the time the 2 days passed, the spiritual atmosphere had grown incredibly tense. Jesus turned to his disciples and said, "Let us go back to Judea." The disciples were instantly terrified. They reminded him that just a short time ago, the religious leaders in Judea had tried to stone him to death. But Christ looked at them with unshakable resolve and dropped a bombshell. "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him up." When the disciples misunderstood, thinking he meant physical sleep, Jesus told them plainly, "Lazarus is dead, and for your sake I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to him." When Jesus finally approached the outskirts of Bethany, he was met with a heavy, suffocating wall of grief. Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 long days. In ancient Jewish tradition, the 4th day held a terrifying finality. It was a common cultural belief that the soul hovered near the deceased body for 3 days, hoping to return. But by the 4th day, as physical decomposition advanced rapidly, all hope of resuscitation was officially gone. The death was permanent. Martha was the first to reach Jesus on the road. Her words echoed the painful weight of regret that had likely consumed her for days. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Yet even in the absolute darkness of her heartbreak, a spark of supernatural faith remained. She added, "But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus looked into her weeping eyes and delivered a cosmic declaration that would echo through human history. "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die." Shortly after, Mary arrived, collapsing at Jesus' feet in total agony, followed by a crowd of weeping mourners. Seeing their overwhelming devastation, the Gospel records that Jesus groaned in his spirit and was deeply troubled. He asked, "Where have you laid him?" They replied, "Come and see, Lord." And it is here, in this heavy moment, that we encounter the shortest, yet perhaps most profound verse in all of Scripture. Jesus wept. Why did the Almighty Creator of the universe weep, knowing exactly what he was about to do just minutes later? He didn't weep out of hopelessness. He wept because he possessed perfect empathy. He felt the raw, crushing, and unnatural sting that sin and death inflict on the humanity he created. Before he conquered death, he chose to share in our pain. Jesus walked directly up to the tomb, the dark cave with a massive stone blocking the doorway. "Take away the stone," he commanded. The crowd gasped. Martha, ever the pragmatist, cried out in panic, "But Lord, by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." Jesus turned his gaze to her and replied, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" Slowly the stone was rolled away. The cold stench of decay met the open air. Jesus raised his eyes to heaven, thanked his Father so the crowd would know who sent him, and then, standing before the mouth of hell itself, he shouted into the abyss with a voice like thunder, "Lazarus, come out!" Absolute, terrifying silence gripped the crowd, and then a rustling sound echoed from the dark depths. Out walked the dead man. His hands and feet were still wrapped tightly in strips of burial linen, his face completely covered with a cloth. The decaying flesh had been instantly remade at the molecular level. The cold, dead lungs were suddenly filled with oxygen. The heart that had been still for 96 hours was now beating violently with brand new life. Jesus broke the stunned silence, saying, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." This miracle was so massive, so undeniable, and performed so close to Jerusalem that it terrified the religious establishment. The Sanhedrin realized they could no longer ignore him. From that very day, they officially consolidated the political plot to have Jesus crucified. In a profound divine irony, Lazarus' new life actively started the final countdown to Jesus' own sacrifice. The Chronicle of Lazarus is a timeless reminder for us today. No matter how dead, broken, or completely hopeless a situation in your life may seem, God is never too late. His delays are not denials. His timing is flawless, and his power has absolutely no rival. If this cinematic journey through Scripture strengthened your faith and moved your heart, please hit the like button and subscribe to Biblical Chronicles so you never miss our upcoming deep dives into the miraculous. And if you want to discover the shocking historical truth behind the next great biblical event, click right now on the video appearing on your screen. Thank you for watching, and may God bless your journey.